Your financial needs aren't independent of each other, so your financial advisors shouldn't be either. At Mercantile Bank, our experienced United Wealth professionals are united to serve you and your complete financial planning and wealth management needs. Are you just starting your investment journey or need to roll over a retirement plan? Do you need to plan for a loved one with special needs or for your own life after work? Maybe your business needs a succession plan or you want to enhance your employee benefit programs. Whatever steps you need to take, our United Wealth experts are ready to take them with you. Together, we are united.
Hi, this is Ron Kinscherf with Muddy River News. Welcome to the Business Spotlight, brought to you by Mercantile Bank and Rober and Phillips Attorneys at Law. We have Gary Harpole with us from the Heartland Lodge, among other things you got going on. But we're going to talk about the Heartland Lodge today. And the one thing that you are starting to do is along the lines of real estate, right?
Right.
Can you kind of go through what that program's going to look like for you guys?
Well, it's something we've seen years ago when I first started this. A lot of people come to the lodge, fall in love with the community, and then they end up buying real estate.
Right.
But then what happens after a couple of years, they may not be from here, maintaining it, taking care of it becomes an issue, so then they end up selling it. It just keeps turning over. So we decided to connect the two. One is any landowners that are looking to sell their land, connect them with some of our guests that are coming to stay. And then for our guests, we have a landowner program where we basically take care of everything for them. They can even stay at the lodge if they want, if it's close enough. But, like farming, maintaining, mowing, food plots, that kind of stuff, we handle that for that.
But it doesn't have to be adjacent to the lodge, right?
It can be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. Okay, so that's a new offering that you guys have at the lodge. And then looking at your website and some of the stuff I was reading, you guys got a lot going on. And when you came in here, you said it's almost more a resort now than it is just for hunting stuff. And the one thing I didn't realize you did was involving the river.
Yeah, we actually have more guests that are non-hunters than hunters. But we've been doing this for so long, and we've had so many different TV shows and celebrities. We just kind of stereotyped as a hunting lodge, but quite truthfully, we're more of a resort that offers hunting in the fall. But one of the things we decided to offer, because a lot of people are fascinated by the Mississippi River, I grew up with it here in Quincy, but others who are not would love just to either A, go fishing on the river, or B, just to do a sunset river cruise, which I still love to do myself. So we started offering river cruises on the Mississippi River.
So what type of boats do you use for that?
We have a cruiser boat, and then for the fishing, we have the big river John boats, the custom made. If you get down into Pike and Calhoun County, I'm sure they have them here in Adams, but the guys who are hardcore duck hunters and hardcore fishermen, they have special John boats for the fishing side of it.
So with all this stuff, and we'll talk about some of the other stuff you have going on, are these actual employees that you have, or you outsource this?
Both. We do both. We have about 60 year-round employees.
Do you really?
Which is great.
Wow.
And then we outsource with different specialists with different things that we offer. Now we've learned, like, if we can find someone that is better at doing something than we are, then why try to reinvent the wheel? And the fishing thing is exactly that program. The guy who does our fishing is a licensed captain, and he loves the river. He grew up on the river all of his life, and so he does it better than I could even buy a boat and try to hire somebody to do it. So
you have 60 people working there?
Yes.
How long have you been associated with Heartland?
Almost 30 years. It'll be 30 years next year.
So did you ever imagine when you started this that you'd have this many people working for you?
We've exceeded all expectations. We have about 25,000 annual guests now, and they come from, if you're down there right now, you'd meet people from Quincy and the area, but then also you might be having dinner with somebody from New York, from Australia, from New Zealand, from England, from California, from Florida. We get people from all over the world.
Is it just word of mouth that they find out about you?
Internet
mostly?
And word of mouth, yeah.
Okay.
The internet was a game changer in '95 when I started the lodge. That's kind of the birth of, for us at least, the website, and we were fortunate to do that early. And so that makes us be able to compete with, the Hilton on Michigan Avenue in Chicago. We could compete with everybody around the world.
But for what you do, is there a lot of competition? Obviously, from the hunting perspective, Pike County and Calhoun County, you got to help me with this, are the ripest areas in the country, potentially.
Yeah, they're very well now. They're branded now. They're very well known.
But for the other stuff, who's your competition?
There's really not. We're a unique venue.
Yeah.
We do a lot of corporate stuff during the week. It's just a place to get away. There's a lot of companies from this area, Quincy, of course, Chicago, St. Louis, and again from all over the United States. But there's nothing quite exactly like us. No.
So if you have a corporate event and people coming from out of town, how many people can you keep lodge at the?
It depends on if they want single or double occupancy, but let's just say somewhere around 75 people right now is where we're at.
Okay, and then you mentioned the business events that you have, that type of thing. That's been going on for quite a while. I've actually attended one of those. You do Christmas parties. I do know that.
Yeah.
And one thing you mentioned is you're really gotten into the you mentioned Yellowstone, the horse type stuff.
We have really took a huge step forward. We call it the Midwest Yellowstone, just because the fact that the people that we have now running our stables operation, I call them the Pike County Duttons. If you watch Yellowstone, they are the Dutton family. And you can call me out. If you come down and ride with them and you don't think that's the case, then you can call me out on it. But they love horses. They take care of our horses. And that now we started at the beginning. We did horse rides when I first started.
Okay.
But the side-by-sides and the ATVs just over time kind of took over. The horses kind of died down. And I do think with Yellowstone and the show Heartland on Netflix and some other horse-related shows, horses have become popular again. But just for us, we just found the right fit, and it is really taken off for us.
So are these horse people,
Yes.
or are these people who know nothing about horses that are coming
People
in
that
to get
come
that
ride,
experience?
we're actually getting both, and that's what we're growing into. We are kind of catering, our core right now is the dude ranch type thing. Somebody that doesn't know a lot about horses, wants to ride a horse, but we also are going to expand into the next step is we get a lot of people that want to own a horse, but they don't want to maintain and have the cost of the horse, so we might do memberships where you could have a horse and you can come down and ride so many times. All the way, we did a clinic 2 weekends ago, and it was for advanced riders, so people that have their own horses already and they want to learn more about their horse. We do that as well.
Okay. On the hunting side, I didn't realize that you have upland bird hunting.
Yes.
I've never heard the term upland bird hunting.
Yeah.
Can you delve into that a little bit?
Yeah, and I'll explain that to you. Waterfowl, you've probably heard of.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's we live in a perfect area where you can relate to that. You got the bottoms for waterfowl, and then upland was always up on the dry land. That's where that term came from. But I grew up. My family's all from Pike County, but I grew up in Quincy. So we'd always go down there, and we'd always quail hunted, got into a few pheasants, not many, and we duck hunted. So the upland side of it, the quail and pheasant hunting that we do, is something that I grew up with the tradition, and it's growing as well just because it's something we can do over 9 months.
Are you, how do I word this? Are you stocking
Yeah, good question.
the fields?
Yeah, it's good to ask. So I'm a purist at heart. Like I said, I grew up hunting wild birds. So we really manage for wild birds, and we have wild quail down there. I run in the mornings, and every morning I'm hearing coveys of quail, which I absolutely love.
Right.
But with the amount of hunters that we have to supplement with birds.
So you do
also.
supplement. Is there a limit?
We have different programs. We have a limit program, just like you'd be going by the wild state bird limits, and then we have what we call a premium package where there's no limits.
But do you release the birds into the field before the hunters
No, we
come?
do it different. I grew up
Okay.
doing that, and nothing wrong with that at all. But we do it more like if you went to South Dakota, people don't realize this. South Dakota is one giant release state.
Okay.
It really is. Because they have to keep the populations up, right? And
Right.
if they have a dismal amount of birds die, then all of a sudden their tourism is gone. So we do the similar type thing. We buy the same birds that you would hunt in South Dakota, and then we just fly and release them out.
Okay, so you don't actually have a bird farm.
No. We just buy we buy birds. We do just like South Dakota Game and Fish
Right.
does, or Illinois Game and Fish, and then we just take them out and release them into our fields, and we lose over half of them to predators and stuff. But the ones that survive, you're literally hunting a wild pheasant.
And you mentioned ATVs earlier.
Yes.
Do you have like ATV weekends, or can I
Yes.
just come in and?
Both. We have. I mean, you can bring your own ATV
Okay.
or side by side. We have themed events all the time going on.
Such as?
Like we got a peach weekend coming up.
Okay.
That area is known for the peaches, right? So
Right.
we're going to have peach vendors there. If you stay at the lodge, we're going to have everything peach, from peach cobbler, peach everything.
Okay.
And then we're going to give away, like we do a scavenger hunt on the ATV course. And if you find anything, you come in, you'll get a thing of peaches. So it's themed like St. Patty's Day, Easter, Father's Day, Mother's Day. We always have different kind of ATV themed weekends going on as well. But we also, if you don't have a side-by-side, we partner with Polaris. And we have rentals available down
Okay.
there too. So you can just go down there. And if you're wanting to buy a new unit, that's what's the kind of why I think Polaris came up with the program. You can go down and test drive one on an actual property and see if you like it or not.
So the Peach Weekend, you actually have a agenda for these folks to
Yeah,
do
you go
on
on
their
our
Peach
website.
Weekend.
Yeah, and it's all
Okay.
fun. And we're going to have Calhoun County peach vendors. If you follow, Calhoun County's famous for their peaches. So they're going to be there with fresh peaches from the
Right.
vineyards. And if you stay, we're going to have different menu items of peaches. But then also, if you don't stay, you can just come and ride. You don't have to stay. You can just come down for the day and ride. Then we're going to have different giveaways, peach related.
Because another thing I saw, you have like dive bar tours and wine tours and that type
Yeah.
of thing going on there. Are those planned agendas also like, hey, okay, at 1 o'clock we're going to go here and 2 o'clock we're going there?
Like we have the Hannibal tour coming up.
Yeah.
And even local people do this. They come down, they want to stay at the lodge, but they don't want to be driving. So we actually have a charter bus that picks everybody
okay.
up at the lodge, and then we go to Hannibal for the day, and we do all the Hannibal tourist attraction, go to the wineries and breweries over there and have a great day, and we bring them back to the lodge. And then they can do their other activities at the lodge on Sunday. That's on Saturday. They come in on Friday, they go to Hannibal on Saturday, and then they come back on Sunday.
Okay, I do want to talk about the deer hunting. These are probably the stupidest questions I've ever asked on this Business Spotlight, but you do have deer hunting season coming up, right?
Yeah, in the
right.
fall.
And you do arrow or bow and gun.
And gun, yes.
Why do the deer stick around your area? I mean, when they tell this is going to sound stupid, but when they find out sooner or later that people are going to shoot at them, or are they not that smart?
There's always the theory of evolution that eventually someday, which we're going to be all dead when that happens, that maybe they'll be all nocturnal animals. But we will never see that. Anybody listening to this will never see that. But no, deer are more creatures of food and survival and reproduction, like probably all animals are. So yes, if you put over amount of pressure, just like if you went out to Siloam Springs and it's been fished on the weekends, and you go Sunday, the fish are going to be a little bit more reclusive. But if you go out, I used to go out there on Mondays after everybody was done fishing, and I caught all kinds of fish at Wyandotte and Siloam Springs. So animals actually start adapting to us, just like you start seeing deer in parks and cities like Chicago. There's deer in the city of Chicago. They just get used to us. They start adapting.
And how much land do you have that you use for deer hunting, and is it all adjacent to the lodge?
No. Yes and no. We have 5,000 total acres, give or take, every year, and we have about 1,500 of that right at the lodge. But then other what we call a satellite farm, just like you have a 300-acre farm.
Okay. That's what I was wondering about. Okay, so you are moving people around, and you provide, and what services do you provide? So if I plan a trip, can I go out by myself, or do you all have guys go with everybody?
We're more of a full-service guided operation, so they don't sit with you in the stand like they do in other places in the country, like in Texas, but we'll have a guide that's with you and two of your buddies, or if you come solo, and then they'll take you out to the stand. And nowadays with text messaging, it's so easy to communicate. Yeah. You just say, hey, I want to come in at 10 o'clock, or I want to set all day. Now,
for the birds, do you provide dogs?
Yeah, and guides. We have a great team, but we have over 24 guides, and these are all local guides from the community here. And some of them, are from Quincy, from Camp Point, from all over, and they come down, and because the bird hunting has changed in my lifetime. When I was a kid, you could just go out anywhere and bird hunt. Now you can't. So the guys who still have the passion for bird hunting, they don't have many places to take their dogs and hunt, where now they can guide for us, and then they can get that dogs out and get them into birds.
So what do they do? What do your customers do when they get something? I mean, obviously hauling a deer around is not easy to do.
Yeah, we have guides for all of that. So we have the guides who will go get the deer, clean it, process it.
Oh, they do that.
Set it up, all that. And then on the bird hunting side, we have a processor right there on site.
Okay, that's what I was wondering about.
And we vacuum pack it and everything.
Okay,
and
so it's
take it home. We ship it all over the country, but it's really easier if you're ever doing something like this, maybe fishing in Alaska or something. But we've learned, surprising airlines, you can take it on as carry-on.
Okay.
So it's very simple that way.
So you're basically a cradle-to-grave provider.
Maybe not the deer, but the birds are carry-on. Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Gary Harpole with Heartland Lodge. This has been the Business Spotlight, brought to you by Mercantile Bank and Rober and Phillips, attorneys at law.
Your financial needs aren't independent of each other, so your financial advisors shouldn't be either. At Mercantile Bank, our experienced United Wealth professionals are united to serve you and your complete financial planning and wealth management needs. Are you just starting your investment journey or need to roll over a retirement plan? Do you need to plan for a loved one with special needs or for your own life after work? Maybe your business needs a succession plan or you want to enhance your employee benefit programs. Whatever steps you need to take, our United Wealth experts are ready to take them with you. Together, we are united.